صلى عليه الله ربي وعلى صحابه وآله ومن
Now your comments on the word that is سميته بالسلم المرونق. Is it al-Murawniq or is it al-Munawraq? This is a question that I get from a lot of students. I've been hearing this for years now. Is it al-Murawniq or is it al-Munawraq? Al-Murawnaq happens to be what the author has chosen here. It's interesting because al-Bajuri in his Hawashi or his commentary on the text, he actually mentions that okay, even though the text that I'm commenting on it comes with the taqdim dara, that is with the ra coming first, that is the rawnaq part. Like he says, the ra comes first and the noon comes after, right? So he says that even though that's the case, however, whatever is what it's narrated from or transmitted from the author himself, that is al-Akhdari, is that he preferred al-Munawraq, with the noon coming first and the ra coming after. So according to him, he would say that, oh, that's how it is. And he also says that it's preferred because of the fact that that's what's related from the Musannif. He says, لكن ثانيهما or لكن ثانيهما أولى لكونه هو الرواية. He says that the second one, this al-Munawraq with the noon coming first and the ra coming after, happens to be better, a better choice rather than al-Murawniq because that is what is narrated from the author, which is kind of strange because if you were to look at this commentary, you would see that the author chooses to prefer Murawniq with the ra coming first and the noon coming after. And he has also mentioned a bait, which is actually about Ibn Muqla. He mentions فهذا عليه رونق الخط وحده وهذا عليه رونق الخط والملك. And he says in this couplet that he's mentioned as an example, قال الشاعر, he says it's رونق not نورق. I mean, he's not negating نورق here, the author himself, because it seems like the confusion might have developed later on. That is it منورق or is it مراونق? But he's just saying, well, the word that I used, السلم المراونق, the word مراونق is where it's taken from. So he gives an example. فهذا عليه رونق الخط وحده وهذا عليه رونق الخط والملك. So this thing has the brightness or the something to shine or to be bright or to be enlightening, etc. is called رونق, to have رونق الخط. So the brightness that is present in the script, وحده, alone. وهذا عليه رونق الخط والملك. So that other thing has the beauty, you can say, المزين, like it's full of like ornamentation or being beautified. So this has the beauty or the beautification of writing or script alone, and this has the beautification of writing and dominion, you can say, or uh, rulership, either or. So like some, if a ruler wrote it, then it's a beautiful script. On top of that, it's written by a ruler, and if it's someone else wrote it, then it's just a beautiful script. So the rawnaq is the word that's used over there. Al-Bannani rahimahullah too, in his Hawashi, he also chooses Murawniq with the Fath with the Ra. And what's interesting is that Sheikh Muhammad Fahd al-Shanqiti rahimahullah, in his commentary, he mentions that the majority of the shuyukh that he has learned this text from, and this is the case with myself as well, especially when it comes to the Shanaqita, etc., that they have actually said Murawniq in place of Munawraq. He says that the تقديم الضراء وهي الرواية عن أكثر شيوخنا, that this is the riwayah, what how the text has been related to us with Murawniq dara coming before the noon is what the majority of the teachers that we've heard this text from, and that's the riwayah. And as I mentioned, al-Bannani rahimahullah in his commentary too, he has also chosen al-Murawniq, and he brings a shahid for two, the text, the bait, the couplet of a few couplets he brings, but the main couplet is the couplet of Ibn Sahl. Even though it's not really common to use Ibn Sahl as as a person whose poetry you would use to prove something. But I don't think the point over here is to prove anything, is just to show the usage of the word, which is very prevalent among the experts of Arabic rhetoric, that they would bring Ash'ar al-Mutanabbi and others from the Muwalladun, the ones who came at the last, or kind of considered to be the last class of Arab poets, and their kalam or their ash'ar are not usually taken as clear-cut proofs for something. So he says, quoting Ibn Salis, فَتَرَى ذُنُوبَ جُفُونِهِ فِي خَدِّهِ لَكِنْ عَلَيْهَا رَوْنَقُ الْحَسَنَاتِ, that you will see the sins of the jufun في خده. ولكن عليها رونق الحسنات. However, it has the brightness of good deeds. لكن عليها رونق الحسنات. So even though it's not a proof as to whether the word رونق is established or not, but the fact that al-Bannani is bringing this and he is commenting on it like that too, it seems like his riwayah might have been with the ra coming first and the noon coming after. So even if it becomes popular now that you say al-Sullam al-Munawraq, al-Sullam al-Murawnaq with the ra coming first happens to be the preferred or the only way the author has considered this text, as well as many of the commentators that came after. And in terms of riwayah, it seems like for those who would specify that this is the riwayah from the Musannif, the author himself, that's debatable. And as for the riwayah from the shuyukh, then that, according to Sheikh Muhammad Fahd al-Shinqiti and others, the majority of the scholars have transmitted the text they did with the ra after to the ra before the noon, so al-Murawniq. I too incline towards the same understanding, and this is the what I've heard from the expert people that I've read this text to or heard them mention this text. They've actually very clearly said al-Sullam al-Murawnaq, with the ra coming first and the noon coming after. Sometimes in some riwayas, you would see that the noon comes first and the ra comes after. And when I say riwayas, in the sense of someone is reading the text to another, to a sheikh, etc., they would allow it because the meaning remains intact. But we're talking about what was the actual word used by the author and what's the actual title of the text. So the stronger view definitely is al-Murawnaq with the with the ra coming first and the noon coming after. I hope that was clear.
اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد